Welcome to Mommy Heal Thyself. We feature guests who provide you with the tools, resources, and strategies you need to say no to a life of pain and suffering from all forms of preventable disease, toxic drugs, and unnecessary surgeries. We hope to inspire you to boldly reclaim your ability to heal and to serve the ones you love. Hello, ladies. Welcome once again to another episode of Mommy Heal Thyself. And today I have two beautiful young ladies with me. One is Dr. Jana Schmidt, and we have Kristy Morrell. Now, Jana is a wife, mother, board-certified naturopathic doctor, master herbalist, certified natural health professional, natural fertility specialist, and ordained minister. Woo! That's a whole heap of stuff, I tell you. Now, she is the founder also of Jana's All Natural and Jana's Tribal Apothecary. And she is the wellness director and prayer warrior with the Gold Care Health and Wellness team. She's the author of the upcoming book, Fertility Formula. Jana has been the natural health provider for over 35 years, and she currently shares the truth and teaches about health and healing and faith, healing for the ages at churches, schools, and on podcasts. Dr. Jana is the host of the radio show America Out Loud, called for Looking for Healing. And she spends, I don't know how she does it with all this other stuff that she does, but she spends time with her family, reading and supporting mission work, outdoor water activities, organic beekeeping. We know a little bit about that, right, ladies? And natural gardening. She's dedicated to helping people achieve optimal health through healthy, happy, productive, holistic avenues. And now, her wonderful partner, Kristy Morrell. She is a registered dietitian and nutrition director of the Gold Care Wellness team. She has over 25 years experience specializing in weight management, disordered eating, sports and nutrition, and other health-related issues. Kristy is the lead sports dietitian for the University of Southern California for the almost 2 decades, working directly with USC sports teams and Olympic athletes. She's also the head nutritionist for the Los Angeles Kings hockey team, and she works directly with patients of every age at eating disorder clinics. Kristy is on a mission to educate and encourage you to eat mindfully, sleep and exercise regularly, and embrace a healthier lifestyle. My goodness, ladies, we've got a power team here. Welcome, Dr. Jana and Kristy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gamble. We're happy to be here and happy to share.
Yes, thank you so much.
Now, I'm curious, how did you two start your working relationship? How did you guys meet?
You want to take that, Kristy?
Sure. Well, let me just do a little correction on the bio. I was with USC, University of Southern California. So I lived in Los Angeles, and I worked at the University of Southern California, and I was with the LA Kings because those are both in LA. And this incredible opportunity came about working with Gold Care Health and Wellness, which is where I met Jana, which is a telehealth platform really spreading the truth about health and wellness. It is doctors and different health practitioners coming together to truly give medical and holistic advice that is based on truth, and that's kind of where Jana and I sort of stand upon with our health and information. It's not based on nothing that I learned as a registered dietitian. Sadly, I think I was taught a certain way to educate and to believe in terms of like the food guide pyramid, and over years and things that have changed, I clearly can see that that's not the way. And so I was excited to jump on to Gold Care Health and Wellness because of that. The founder, Dr. Simone Gold. And so Jana is the natural path, one of the natural paths for Gold Care Health and Wellness. And that's where we got to meet and instantly bonded because we have the same belief.
We did.
Same moral, everything.
I found my people. It was really great. We just
talked
and had the same ideas and philosophy, and it was just really incredible to see that the way she helped people was the same heart behind the way I help people. And it's really to get to the root of the problem and really give them something and teach them something that's not just for that moment, but it's for the rest of their lives and their families' lives. So yeah, we definitely resonated, and we're working right now together at Gold Care. And so I consider Kristy a friend too. So it's really cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. And we've been doing a series of different episodes talking about parallel healthcare, alternative healthcare, however we want to quote unquote label it at this point in time. And so today, our conversation is on a healthcare reset. What do you guys mean by that?
Well, it does say a total reset. We need a reset. It's broken. Our medical system is clearly broken. It's no longer about the person that needs some help, making the relationship with the provider that can give the help and then guide them, teach them. It's sadly more controlled by money and greed, by people who already have a lot of power and money, right? So if a doctor is under a hospital or a group, sometimes it's dictated to them what they can and can't say.
Mhm.
And we don't do that at Gold Care. We are a private membership. We're outside of that. We call it the medical industrial complex.
Mhm.
We're outside of that, and we come together with all different types of providers. We have so many different types of providers and specialists, from MDs and DOs and integrative health practitioners and mental wellness and prayer warriors. And we're looking at mind, body, and soul. And we've come away from that, and we are getting back to that. So we're taking that artificial divide between the allopathic and the natural. We're taking that away and bringing it back together again the way it should be. But we also have a spiritual covering, because we know that we're not just body, right? So this is why we're doing this. We're super excited. It's been incredibly successful, the types of people we've been able to help and continue to help.
So now let's get a little bit more into the weeds with regards to what kind of people do you see approaching you for assistance? What is it that they're dealing with, and what is drawing them towards you?
Well, we have everything, because we have so many providers with what we do. We get everything from colds to cancer. But for me personally, I feel like more people come to me that potentially are injured from vaccines, and many people who haven't been able to have a baby for whatever reason, and we've been able to restore their health. And when you restore the health and the body works the way it's supposed to, then it's most likely going to be able to conceive and carry full term. So those are the two main things that people come to me, although I get a variety of things too. So what about you, Kristy? What's the focus of your people, your clients?
So because of my eating disorder and disordered eating background, I think a lot of women that I've talked to and counseled are needing help with being mindful and maybe losing weight. I mean, we know that for certain that a lot of medical conditions stem from the way that they're living their lives and the way that they're eating. And a lot of it is not necessarily always disordered, but in a way they're using food for comfort. I know that is a majority of the women that I speak to. It's like they don't eat all day because they're busy, and then they come home and then they eat a lot. So it's reestablishing healthy eating habits. And I also talk about sleep and hydration and just educating, because I think in the world of nutrition, it's very confusing. And there's a lot of people now talking about it. I think there's, I don't know how many podcasts there are, and there's, Instagram now, and there's just so much that they're inundated and they're just confused, like, which diet do I follow? And so I just try to steer them the right way and give them factual scientific advice. And also just, it's so individual. I think that's where I help the most.
Now, what do you find is a common mistake that people are making, especially when you're talking about things that are chronic, as you said, like the eating disorder, or even what you were saying, Jana, in terms of people dealing with fertility issues, which are really chronic, for a lot of people. what is a mistake that you find that they're making in terms of how they're approaching the problem or how they're approaching their health in general?
I think overall, going to medications first, that's a big mistake. No matter what it is, whether it's a headache or, working with infertility, but going to drugs first for the answer is, I feel like that's a mistake in most cases. So if there are natural things you can do, it's not an emergency. You're not on your way to the ER with a broken arm, right? Most cases you can do something natural, and that might be all you need. And we're God made, so I feel like our bodies resonate with God made nutritional, right, holistic, herbal, whatever, remedies. So I feel like that's a big mistake is running for the Tylenol or the Advil when you have a headache, whereas that's clearly not why you have a headache. It's not a deficiency of Tylenol. It's the fact that maybe you didn't get enough water or didn't get enough sleep or you need to detox, or there's a variety of things that you can target. And then you can actually use some natural herbal things instead of medications for those temporary symptoms while you're working on the long-term issue, like white willow bark instead of an aspirin. It's got salicylic acid in it. It's going to help with that temporary, but it's also going to help heal the body. So I feel like that's probably one of the biggest mistakes that people rush because it's so in our faces. It's on commercials. It's like, here, the pill for every ill, but trying to help people learn to think a different way. And not reach for that medicine or look for a prescription for the first time they have something, oh, I have a symptom. Like, let's figure out what that symptom is and why.
And Kristy?
And I would say to Jana's point exactly, which leads into so nicely, it's not the quick fix. I mean, whether it's Ozempic, that's obviously taking over right now. But I see it's very, it's that all or nothing way of thinking when it comes to nutrition and exercise. And so some women start this journey going like, I'm going to go 7 days a week, or I'm going to not eat any carbs or no sugar. And they try that approach and then they fail. And I talk to a lot of women about the way we speak to ourselves. A lot of my work is almost a lot of psychological because it's the way they talk to themselves. So what they do is they try these sort of quick fixes, and then they don't succeed, and then their self-talk becomes worse, and then they become hard on themselves, and that has power, and then they start to kind of unravel, and they're not well. So it's coming at nutrition and there's their whole lifestyle in a way that's sustaining and long lasting, and not something that they're just going to do for a week and then it's too hard to sustain and then they feel bad about themselves. So that's my
I would like to share something, but this is just a side note. When you said Ozempic, do you know what it's made from? Do you know what the ingredient in Ozempic is? Gila monster venom.
Wow.
It paralyzes your stomach. It paralyzes part of the part of your stomach that helps you digest. So you feel full because it's slower to digest. And people who've been on this for a long period of time are having severe problems being able to digest it all. And they're vomiting constantly. It's very dangerous. So I just want to say a side note, please steer clear of Ozempic. There are so many other ways to balance your weight, and read the side effects before you take it. It's severe.
Yeah, we just did an episode on that actually. So I did not know about the venom part. I knew about the gastric paresis, but I did not know that that was the active component that creates that particular outcome.
Right. Yeah,
Now, when we're talking, what I found really interesting when I started doing some research into Gold Care, I found it rather interesting that you all incorporate prayer warriors. Tell me a little bit about that, because that is not your typical approach to medicine, if I must say so.
Don't you find that when people have hope and they know people care about them, they heal better? I mean, it's been scientifically proven when people know they have hope in someone that cares. And I feel like that's provided with the prayer warriors. And we also have classes every Wednesday if people want to hop on, whether they're members or providers. That's just very encouraging, and prayer and spiritual health. I think it's a missing part of what we do as overall, as what we do as health providers, is the spiritual aspect of it.
I completely agree. I'm very like I said, I was thrilled to see that aspect.
I don't know anybody else who's doing it that way. So there's lots of parallel things popping up. But
Yeah.
honestly, Dr. Gold started putting this together, what was it, 3 years ago? And she's been like nonstop on it. We've been working really hard, trying to get out every little detail. And that was something that was a component that I don't see that anywhere else. I mean,
I
some
don't either. And
natural doctors and allopathic are coming together
yeah.
in certain clinics, but with that spiritual health, I feel like that's the trifecta, like we got it going on. It's really good.
It reminds me of
Definitely.
when I was looking for training for myself. I saw lots of naturopathic schools, but there was only one school, and it was the school that I went to get my doctorate. That was American Institute of Holistic Theology. Unfortunately, it doesn't exist anymore, but it was the only school that was integrating the spiritual aspect. And I think that that is so critically key in terms of the healing journey for all of us. That, like you said, when you have hope, it can be the one thing that turns everything around.
It is. And a side note, behind the scenes, there are some brilliant people putting together new schools to teach people how to get other people well. And I don't want to call it a med school because it's going to be totally different, but it's going to incorporate everything we need to know, everything we could possibly utilize as tools to help people heal. So that's being quietly put together in the background. I can't wait for it to emerge. So
Awesome. So now let's dive a little bit deeper into this whole concept of a total healthcare reset and tell us what that looks like with regards to the Gold Care system.
Well, I think the first thing is that we spend time asking questions. I mean, we really spend time. I think one of the things that I love about Gold Care and sort of how this is different too is that we treat each member like family. So we take the time, and I think that is what's different, is that we take the time to ask them questions, to get to know them, to figure out what they actually need. And then we might, I may see somebody who might benefit from Jana or from somebody else. And so we work as a team to figure out what's the best course of action for this member and how can we get them the results they're looking for. So that's what I love the most, is that it's the time and attention, and then being able to give them and not say, oh, you need to, we have to wait for 2 more weeks to see this person, and then you have to get a referral for that. And then it's just delay. It's like, we can definitely give them the help that they need in a very timely fashion because we're all together under the same umbrella. So I think that's what has been the most wonderful another part of Gold Care that's been great.
Now, what do you find is the mindset that is needed for someone to gravitate towards Gold Care? Because it's not a fix for everyone. So there's a certain type of person. Who is it?
I don't know. I think it is a fix for everyone. I feel like it is for everybody. I can't think of anybody that wouldn't benefit from this type of health care. So we still have the allopathic prescribing for people who have medications that they happen to be on for whatever reason. But we also have people that can help de-prescribe if they want to be off those medications, or if we feel like they're or if the MDs, the prescribers feel like they're unnecessary. So one of Dr. Gold's visions was to get people off medications that are unnecessary, that are just harming them. But also, we don't want them taking too many vitamins either. So we want to make sure they're getting the perfect health. We want to eliminate the things that are wasting time and energy and money, and just get to what they need. And I think that's what makes it really, really special. So I feel like everyone can benefit from this. And then there's a major medical part as well. We have Gold Care Plus it's a cost sharing teamed up with Zion. So it can be someone's complete health care. We can help navigate if you need to go to the hospital for whatever reason, if someone has a broken bone, or if someone wants to do a birthing center, we help navigate that path. And what we found out, this was really cool. And I knew this was good. I'm like, I'm all in. This is amazing. We need this. But what we found is that it's less expensive than insurance, and it's less expensive than self-pay, because we've negotiated better rates of everything, x-rays and labs, and Gold Care doesn't we're not looking to upcharge those, whereas many organizations might be upcharging so they can make money on labs and prescriptions, and we don't do that. We offer the savings directly to the member. So it makes it really affordable, and businesses are coming to us like, I'm surprised how many businesses have reached out and said, we want to save our company tens of thousands of dollars. We want to bring everybody on with Gold Care. So it's been wonderful. I don't imagine this is something that wouldn't fit for people. You do have to, like, I guess you have to be willing to try something different.
Mhm.
But even if, but when you try it, you'll realize it's better. It's much better than what we have out there traditionally.
I think what would be the catch is that this is requiring a total shift out of the traditional insurance paradigm. So for those people who have their insurance provided to them by their employer, like if they're working for the school district, and
Right.
their employer is providing insurance and they pay a certain amount of lesser fee. So
Even that amount that they're paying, it's still better to be with Gold Care because you pay to see when you need somebody. You're not paying constantly these high premiums and then what a co-insurance or co-pays that you have to pay. It
Mhm.
still turns out to be less money.
Mhm.
I do know what you're saying about people who have employees that are offering them insurance at a lower rate, but that's when it's really wonderful to talk to the employer, like, hey, this is going to be better for your people. You're going to get true healthcare. Your people are going to be better, healthier, better employees. So I would say we could look towards the businesses for that.
Oh, so now how is it different from, say, New Health? Because New Health is that kind of cost share program. So,
I'm not familiar with that.
I
oh,
don't know it
oh
either.
yeah, New Health has been around for many, many years, long before COVID, actually. And so it's similar to a lot of Christian cost shares, but
Right.
New Health is one that was brought about by James Maskell from the functional medicine paradigm. And they created New Health and they provide a similar type of assistance to people. And so I was just curious if, to understand the distinctions, because we just finished doing an episode with one of their representatives. And I know a lot of our listeners are going to be listening to try and find that distinction and navigate, what's the difference between that? And then there's also the wellness company. So,
Or definitely different than the wellness company. It's not apples to apples. It's
oh,
not
so how is it
anywhere
different
near
from
the
the
same.
wellness company?
They don't have any naturopaths
Ah,
or registered dietitians or integrative health practitioners, or they don't
or
have
prayer
that.
warriors, definitely
Or
not.
prayer warrior. I mean, they might have prayer warriors, but I don't know of any. So it's definitely different. They have um traditional telehealth doctors helping with them, and we are not making money on supplements. And that's one of the things that's one of their big pushes. Remember, I said Dr. Gold didn't want to do that. She's the one to upcharge all these things to upgrade, upcharge on prescriptions and things. So I know that that's one of the wellness companies' revenue. A source of revenue is their supplements, but as we're not doing that. So it's a little different model. I know they have a lot of bundles and packages, and
Yeah.
we're just focusing on what's best for each person, and then we can individually guide them to supplements if they need it. So I know that it's different in that regard. But as far as New Health, I'm not sure. I know that many of our providers came because they wanted people to have informed consent before they made decisions about their health.
Mhm.
And so they're freedom warriors. And I think that's what makes it really different with Gold Care, is we all have this drive to do this, to bring about true healthcare and true, instead of sick care,
Yeah.
um, with a wide range of modalities and ways to heal. We even have a biological dentist. We have mental health
Wow.
professionals. It's pretty awesome.
So what is the process? Let's say someone says, I would really like to get involved in Gold Care. What are the steps that they go through?
Well, I know that on the website, there's a way to reach out, and then you'll get some information back. You can talk to our customer service if needed. We also have chat on our website, and then you would sign up with a monthly fee that gives you access to everything within Gold Care, you'll have your own private login, and we have classes and information. It's absolutely amazing. And you know what's really cool is any of our members can jump on our training. So we train each other, we talk to each other, and we have training like what's EMFs, why does it matter, or how to manage diabetes, or deprescribing from such and such. They can join any of the ones where we're teaching each other. And I love that. So we have classes all week. We have specialty classes. Kristy just wrapped one up about with weight loss. Is that right? So they have access to all of that. And then whenever they need someone, they can go and choose who they need to see, and they make an appointment right there. And it sends a message to that provider. The provider responds, and they would fill out the forms that they need. We have intake forms, so we really want to get to know people. And then our appointments are an hour. Like our first initial appointments, we want an hour with that person. And then after that, the next ones after that, if they need any, then they can be smaller, 15, 30 minutes. But we correspond through a web platform like this. We see each other, right? Actual our faces. And then we also have a way to email back and forth to keep in touch with the members and see how they're doing.
Awesome. So now, any last words of wisdom for our community?
Kristy?
Words of wisdom. Honestly, I think it's just taking power over their health. I mean, I think that's kind of why we're all together, is like taking back your power. And I think in terms of just health and wellness in general, just from a dietitian's perspective, is my advice for women is to be easy on themselves. I think we do a lot and we expect ourselves to do too much sometimes. And I think it's prioritizing ourselves and our health. And really honestly, the biggest takeaway would be watch your self-talk, because I deal with so many women and I ask them about that, and they have to stop and think. They're like, oh my gosh, you're right. I do say I could have done this, or I should have done this. I didn't do a workout. They're just constantly. So have some grace with yourself. And I would say watch your self-talk and just start slow. If you're going to do something different on your health journey, try not to do too much at once. That would be my advice.
I like that. I like it too. I think speaking positive words and prayer over yourself, over your family every day is very, very powerful. And I always like to say, start slow. We want you to feel better. We want you to feel nothing but better, right? It doesn't need to be hard or painful, but one step at a time. And we can help you do that.
That is so wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Jana and Kristy, for joining us today.
Thank you
so much.
And ladies, we will see you in our next episode of Mommy Heal Thyself. Until then, peace and blessings. Bye. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Mommy Heal Thyself. If you like what we're doing here, please share, subscribe, like us, and leave a comment. Your feedback is very much